Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ice Cold Takes podcast. I am your host, Joey DeMeglio, and I've finally returned after a long summer break. Hockey season is about to begin. The Rangers are almost back. Everything is looking up for now. Super happy to be back here for the episode back. Python and Cjeths are here to help me out. Boys, it's a pleasure to have you on once again. What's going on, fellas?
We're back. We're back.
already. Oh, wait, we didn't look up the right way, Nick. We didn't look up.
Oh, yeah. The MSG lookup. Nope, I see it. That's the scoreboard.
I
Chase
see
Bridge.
Yeah, the Chase Bridge. The Chase Bridge. We are here. Ice Cold Takes is on YouTube now. We're sorry about the delay. I know I said 3 o'clock, but we are here at 3:44 in the afternoon Eastern time. We're here. Ice Cold Takes us back. The world has returned to normal. But yeah, so lots of stuff we've been up to.
You missed the opportunity to rebrand.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go move to Winnipeg. We were talking about moving to Winnipeg over the summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually took a vacation there now twice because, as you guys knew, last time we tried to do an episode, I was in Winnipeg, so I was cutting out a lot. But yeah, I went on vacation to Winnipeg last week too, so that's why. Also, because you were on vacation too. Were you in Winnipeg too? I thought I saw you by the frozen lake.
Which one?
That wasn't me.
It looked a lot like you. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think you might.
It was like the only other person that was in Winnipeg, so I wasn't sure.
It was weird. The guy was just standing there going, day 75 of asking Rick DiPietro on the Ice Cold Takes podcast.
I guess I got to get back into that. I forget what day I left off on. I forget. That thing was going to go longer than weeks for sure.
Yeah, Rick DiPietro is kind of a weirdo for not doing that. I don't know what his problem is.
Because DiPietro is not active on social media. Don't worry. I'm going to get him. Don't worry.
He was drafted first overall. He's too cool for that.
Way
like Lafreniere, he's too cool to step on the ice.
Oh boy. Okay, all right. So we're gonna be roasting Lafreniere this episode.
Oh, we grilled him the other episode on my podcast. We grilled him.
It was borderline hateful.
Everybody's gonna be in for a treat on this one then. But yeah. Anyways, what has everybody been up to? You guys could go for it. Tell me what's going on. How was your summer and stuff? How was everything? Nick.
No, Sean not first. Sean not first.
I mean, the summer has sucked. This off season's been brutal because we're back to a normal off season for the first time since pre-COVID. So it's been painful, and then plus the round one exit still stings to this moment. And then of course we had a couple weeks waiting for Gallant to get fired. Free agency was definitely entertaining though, at least, but
it was entertaining for 2 hours, and then it just fell apart. It was just nothing happened.
We said we were gonna scream when the Rangers signed Archibald and for a guy for $800K, and we actually did. I'm glad we made good on that promise.
Yeah, we did, but yeah, it's been boring with no Mets baseball killed. Mets baseball, but not good Mets baseball.
Right.
Killed the entire summer, so it really it made it painful. It made it painful, but we're here. Football's back tomorrow. Hockey is back in a few weeks, and we will be there, front and center.
Jets are going all the way this year. Ice Cold take of the day.
Jets Giants Super Bowl. Sign me up.
Absolutely
Jets are
not.
going all the way. Jets Eagles.
We won't be there.
It's going to be a three-way fight at MetLife Stadium.
Just 3 teams playing.
Yeah, just 3 teams playing against each other.
Yeah, they're actually
if the Eagles win,
the stadium
if the Eagles win, the Jets and the Giants are without a stadium.
Oh my God.
That's what it's for. It's for turf advantage. It's like war. It's like war, but like actual war.
Oh my God.
Now we don't have
guys on each side just lobbing mortars at each other. God almighty.
Right. Football. Hail Mary. I mean, yeah, off season was boring. I mean, that's kind of why I took the break. Fellas, Ice Cold Takes history. We've actually just passed 3 years of the history of Ice Cold Takes. 3 years. It was August 28th, 2020 was the first episode, and it's been 3 years. Up until before the summer. We had never, missed like a week for an episode. We're not Blue Shirt Breakaway. We're not Greg and Ryan. So, you know, I couldn't keep good on that promise. Like, I wanted to keep going like without missing an episode, but between school and I might as well tell everybody what's going on. So I have left Old City Sports and I started an internship at this new TV station up the road from the pizzeria, the famous New World Pizza. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for me to pursue whatever I want in my career in sports journalism, sports media. So I've been enjoying that. I've been learning a lot of production stuff, technical stuff. So you know, I want to bring some more content on YouTube this season. So that's my goal. And ice cold takes from the garden. I fully intend on not being a chicken and not chickening out and actually talking to people there because that's what it boiled down to for why I didn't do more than one episode last season. So you know we'll try and do that. Um, in terms of videos, like I'll try to post consistently. We'll see what kind of videos that I put out there, but definitely going to be returning to one episode a week. Ice Cold Takes is back and better than ever. But get into the hockey talk, boys.
You've been doing this for 3 years. Nick and I have been doing this for probably way longer, and you're more relevant than both of us. That makes me feel great. That makes me feel great. And then you're struggling to talk at the garden there. Meanwhile, Nick's holding up the binder. Yo, Timo Meyer, Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
just yelling at people as they come by. Who?
Yeah, we talked to Ed Jockovin's doppelganger, and it's
yes.
like, oh, yeah, you remember that? Like the guy was like, oh, I had the Jockovin jersey. And he was like, "Oh, do you want me to suit up and play? They needed a goalie." So I was like, "Oh, I'm Ed Jockovin. I could go put my gear on." Like we actually thought it was him first. I thought it was him for a second. I was like,
you run into characters every time you go to New York. Even that guy sitting laying down on the stairs off of Penn Station, the guy that was screaming at everyone. Even before we got into the garden, it was just characters everywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's always something in New York. So
lovely New York.
Maybe we'll go to more games this season. Definitely got to get you guys. Like we got to go to another game. We went to that Golden Knights game.
Stadium Series.
Super fun. Oh yeah, the Stadium Series.
I got you guys.
Super expensive tickets that are like, oh my god, what is it, like $1,000?
It's
$1,000. And
I might be getting a deal. I'll put you guys on with that off-air stuff, though. Off-air stuff.
Is this like a black market deal? Is this like a guy, or
no?
Is this like a legit deal?
He knew a guy who knew a guy who owed him some money.
Yeah, basically. No, but I legit have my friend and I are working on something, getting it done.
It's in the works. It's in the works. We got to play the bingo game again for the free agency.
Oh my God.
We're continuing to study.
We're doing our homework. They're doing our homework on
continuing the study.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Ticket prices we are studying.
God almighty, dude.
Trying to find the best value.
I don't know if that made Nick go off the rails as much as it did the other day when we reacted to those ESPN projections. God. Nick went off the rails.
I'm gonna pull these up. What is this? ESPN NHL Power Rankings?
Joey, it was fucking
terrible.
Hold on. It is
a disaster.
ESPN
I don't have many words.
Dude,
I need to see these. I did not see it.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I swear to God, dude. This was the closest I've come to losing my mind in a while.
Yeah, it was
I need to see this.
So full projections. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
I need to see if this is melted takes worthy. That reminds me, I need to come up with a definition for a melted take because I have a Webster's dictionary entry for ice cold take. I should.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna share my screen because I just saw something on here that just made me even more angry.
Sir, share your screen.
This is gonna piss. Okay, tell me when y'all could see it.
Yep.
Here.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, so look, you got Zibanejad. Don't look at the point totals, right? We're just looking at the players. Zibanejad, Fox, Trouba, Tarasenko is not on the fucking team.
Rangers.
Kane, Hedl,
not even on the Rangers.
Wheeler. Oh, wait for it. Hold on. Wait for it. We're almost there. We're so close. Hold on. One more. Are you out of your... What are we doing? He's not even on the team. He's not even on the team. He's in Pittsburgh. Oh,
we don't even know if he's going to stay in Pittsburgh either.
Dude, good thing Anton Bleed, Riley Nash, and all these guys are
Why
on
is
there.
Gabe Perreault here? He just got drafted. He's not playing.
Perreault.
Dude.
David Desharnais is here.
That's it. Yeah, David Desharnais.
What the
Wait, time out.
Nick Merkley, Tanner Fritz. What is fucking... Oh, my God.
Gustav Riedel, who got traded for Anton Bleed, by the way. But wait, time out. Nick, you didn't notice that the other day? Because I was dying of laughter when I saw David Desharnais on there.
No, I didn't notice this. CJ Smith and Daniel Cantanaki, they've been on the team in half a decade. Dude, ESPN, this is the presenter of the NHL. David Desharnais hasn't even been in the NHL in like 5 years. When David Desharnais was on the New York Rangers, I was not even living in North Carolina yet. I was still in fucking high school.
Oh my God.
Dude, we traded this fucking guy. Instead of like, oh, we released him. Oh, maybe we forgot. We fucking traded this guy. Dude, oh my God.
On the list, too, nonetheless.
I need to clip this later.
This is just absolutely amazing. This is the presenter of the NHL. This is who is like, okay, we're buying like the NHL TV or whatever the fuck it is rights. We can't even get their roster right from 6 years ago, players that are still on the roster on their fucking stupid fantasy thing today.
And heaven forbid we include point projections for the number 2 overall pick.
Why would you do that?
Why do that?
But good thing Vladimir Tarasenko, who's not even on the fucking team, has been signed for 2 months on another team, is on there for us, right? Yeah, good thing. Good. Oh, Chris Kreider, 37 points. His second year in the league yet. Oh my God, dude.
That is atrocious.
Go to Blake Wheeler, Connor Mackey.
27 points. Ready? Blake Wheeler, 27, but not too far behind him. They figured out the Rangers fucking signed this guy, but can't figure out how to get David Desharnais off the fucking roster. Where is he? Where's this son of a bitch? I'm ready to
Connor Mackey. Scroll down. Yep.
Yeah, Connor Mackey, 14 points in 55 games. Yeah, Connor Mackey, all right, is going to have more than half of the production of Blake Wheeler. In case you were curious, Blake Wheeler, who, by the way, had more assists, almost triple the amount of assists as Connor Mackey's projected scoring. But yeah, Wheeler, 27 points. What the fuck, dude? I want to know who does this shit for ESPN, because there's no reason they should have a fucking job, dude. This is like free labor, or the people that are making these projections are paying ESPN. Oh, I got a funny fucking joke. I'll pay you to let me make it. God,
could you quickly filter it to all? I want to just look at like the top 10.
Yes.
I want to see how egregious this is. Go to the team.
Okay, you want to see this the regular NHL?
Yeah, I just want to see the top 10 players for
Patrice Bergeron at the top.
Austin Matthews. Okay, McDavid, Draisaitl, Pettersson, Pastrnak, Matthews, Kachuk, McKinnon. Robertson's an interesting one. Mikko Rantanen, Tage Thompson, Kaprizov, Hughes, Kachuk.
Thompson. Wow.
Why is Stützle so high?
This is their 90 fantasy. Points. This is their fantasy rankings.
Yeah, but look at their projected points.
Desharnais, draft Desharnais for your team. If you want to get 0 points, then sure.
Yeah, make a ESPN fantasy league so you could draft David Desharnais.
It's just Timo Meier.
Why can't they get the pictures for the guys that were just drafted?
Dude, they couldn't find their own asshole with a fucking map. You think they're going to figure that out?
Shit.
This is terrible. Look at this shit.
Find their own asshole.
Dude, Jacob Chychrun I don't even think he's ever broken. Oh, he had a good season last year, 33 and 48 fine. He's never broken 40 points. Oh, yeah. He's going to score 61 points and be the 34th ranked player in fucking fantasy. Jacob Chychrun is a great defenseman. Don't get me wrong. He's not the 34th most valuable player in the NHL. And I know fantasy scoring is different, but I'm sorry. This does not make any fucking sense. You're there's no way you're going to convince me that Jacob Chychrun is more valuable than Adam Fox, who's back-to-back season with 70 points, 60-plus assists. Rupe Hintz, who had 75 points. Nugent Hopkins had 104 points last year. I mean, he might be a McDavid merchant, fine, but let's use a fantasy argument. He had 104 points. How is he less valuable than fucking Jacob Chikrin? Am I losing my mind right now? Like, dude, like, oh, here we go. Oh, Dubois, Dubois here, everybody.
Winnipeg boy.
God almighty, dude.
Or Montreal
Hey,
boy.
Verhaeghe's a beast in fantasy.
Yeah, I am fucking.
Jacob Trouba
Trouba
at
is above
49.
Ovechkin.
Wow.
The Trouba's above 49 points they're projecting for Trouba. Hell,
Dude.
if that happens, man, oh, that contract's worth it. I'll take that.
No, it was 39 in the projection, not 49, but still.
Damn it.
No, they had him 49th on the list, though. But
Look at all these Leafs. Oh, wait, did you
no,
sort by
they
Leafs?
didn't. They didn't.
I just sorted by Leafs.
Okay,
Well, I'm trying to see if they maybe left anyone on the Leafs
Gave me a
roster.
heart attack.
Clifford, Aston Reese, he's a free agent.
Nick, we need to do a full reaction to this list at some point.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
you
have
guys,
Rodion on there.
hilarious.
This is fucking bad.
Like, dude, like this is like beyond a joke. This is not even me trying to be funny. This guy literally passed away, and they still have him as draftable on fantasy.
Yep.
Like how fucking stupid are the people that run this thing? Like, this is terrible. Archibald has a brother.
This is like, you know, they're probably going to give like some stupid ass excuse for why they can't get rid of, like, oh, well, because of our database, like, blah, 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 this thing, we're not allowed to do this. And it's like,
Christ
no,
almighty.
you just don't want to do it.
I had zero clue this existed because this apparently was up for like a week or so when I found it. I didn't see it until some Rangers fan page on Instagram. I forgot who it was, but all the credit to them for putting me on it. Show Kreider's projections at 37 points, and I just had to look myself. I just had to look so I could get a laugh. Patrick Nemeth is not on the Coyotes anymore. What? Galchenyuk either.
Dude, neither is Cassian.
Galchenyuk's learning fucking Chinese right now, and you're telling me he should be on the fucking list?
These two guys fucking retired.
Galchenyuk is probably behind bars. Isn't that the guy that...
That's what I'm saying. He's learning Chinese right now, or prisonese. Like, what the fuck?
Seriously, dude, it's like
he's learning prisonese.
Like, this is just so bad.
I don't even want to.
Dmitry Yashkin, that guy's been in Russia for like, what are we doing? Like, what? Like, oh my god,
Clayton Keller, right? He's like first,
dude. I'm trying to think of a random ass name that might be on here that's gonna fucking infuriate.
I'm telling you, Bergeron. Look up Boston. See if Bergeron's there.
He 100. Look, he is 100%. He's on there.
He's
probably like 15th.
I'm joining this here a random fantasy league on Tuukka.
He's been out of the NHL for 2 years, but he's draftable in case he comes back.
He's been out of the league since. By the way, with David Desharnais, there's like no excuse. ESPN and the NHL had their partnership long after David Desharnais, but I can't. I'm definitely joining a random league on ESPN Fantasy this year and drafting an all inactive player team.
Yeah, and make the worst team possible. And
I'm drafting Desharnais. I'm drafting Galchenyuk. Like
Tuukka Rask. Carey Price. Carey Price. Do Carey Price.
Carey Price will be.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
He's easily there.
Martin St. Louis. Let's see.
Dude, if Marty St. Okay, no, he's not on there.
Okay.
A fucking coach was there.
Yeah, coach.
Bro.
Gerard Gallant.
Yeah, Gerard Gallant. No.
Jerry Mayhew. Who is this? Like, this is just so bad. Like, this shit makes me so fucking like Alex Tanga. Okay, good. Tanga's on there. But like, it's just ridiculous. Like,
David Desharnais.
Is Chris Summers here?
Don't you say that fucking name. Okay.
Chris Newberry.
Oh my god. Dude, Newberry, bro. But this is just this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like, they really just don't care. Like, who is Bradley Nadeau? Joey Keane, everybody. Brian Gibbons.
Joey Keane.
Felix Unger. Is it Felix Unger an actor?
Unger Sorum. That's a crazy
Felix
name.
Unger is I was right. Look. He's a fucking from the Odd Couple. The fucking Odd Couple's on ESPN, but we got Connor Mackey fucking almost outscoring Blake Wheeler. But don't worry, the Odd Couple's on ESPN Fantasy, everybody. The fuck out of here, dude. I must be losing my fucking mind. You can't even make this shit up. It's literally Felix fucking underscrotum. Like, what the fuck is this?
I was gonna fucking say that.
Like this. Oh my god!
Beat
What
me
a
to that fuck.
fantasy! Joey Keane literally is in China. Is Joey Keane not on the fucking Shanghai team? Hold on, I'm about to find this out for real. I'm about to find this out for fucking real. Oh my god, he's in Moscow. He's in Moscow.
Derek Stepan didn't re-sign in Carolina. Like why?
Dude, like this is just fucking. You know, I want to get a real left. Let's go to the Islanders. I'm sure they have like some.
They have-
I thought when we pulled this list off, I thought we were gonna laugh at like the point projections, but we're just laughing at the fact that there's players here that
they
don't
have
even
no
play for the
excuse.
teams
They're putting
here.
the new guys on the team. They don't have an excuse. I don't think Richard Panik's been on the island. Komarov fucking retired years ago. Like what?
Like, dude,
Oh
like this
my
has to
God.
be made up. This
Andy Green.
Get
He's
the fuck
retired.
out of here,
They
dude.
were trying to play Immaculate Grid and they forgot.
Dennis Cholowski got fucking waived in the middle of the season.
Like, dude,
what
like
are we
this-
doing?
This cannot.
How did they get Gauthier on the Islanders, but Libor Hayek is still on the Rangers?
Like this is just so bad. Like this is
Wait,
so.
how did they get? No. Here's a better comparison. How did they get Gauthier on the Islanders, but Tarasenko is still on the Rangers?
Like, dude, like
How?
I don't know. I'm like
it.
genuinely trying to make excuses for how stupid and bad they are, but like this is just terrible. This is abs like Hagelin retired.
Ryan Leonard just got drafted, man. He's not gonna play.
Like, dude, like what the fuck, man? Like this is absolutely McElrath. In case you want to draft McElrath, 10th overall instead of fucking Tarasenko, who's still on the Rangers.
Well, can't you get negative points in hockey fantasy?
For ESPN,
you
it should
can.
be a
Better to have a
negative.
0 than minus, right?
Dude, I didn't Gagne just sign somewhere else too?
Yeah, he went overseas.
What happens?
really?
If
I
you,
thought
like,
he's got a
click on
PTO with somebody.
Their player.
He might
profile?
have.
Like, what happens if you click on the name? Like if you go to. Okay, so.
Go
No.
to Tarasenko and try clicking on the name. See if it has the Ottawa logo
I'm
there.
Hey,
about to.
Ottawa.
I want to see. Okay, I was looking for Dustin Bufflin, but okay. Mark Letestu is on there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's test it. Oh boy.
Let's see.
No results for Vladimir Tarasenko. Where's
No
Still has
reason
the
is.
Rangers logo.
Nope.
He didn't
Still
just
has-
sign a contract.
Yeah, no,
everybody.
it has no indication that he's
Let's
playing
see.
for the. They got
They already
him.
moved Mott to Tampa, but they forgot all about Vladimir Tarasenko.
What are these people? Are they asleep at the wheel or something? What's going on here?
Don't worry. There's no news on him.
Yes, there's no news. Also,
He's
yeah, Tyler
projecting
Mott.
80 points in fantasy.
Tyler Mott apparently requested $2 million from the Rangers,
Yeah, I saw.
and ended up signing for $800,000. Who said that, Brooksy?
Yeah,
that
Brooksy
Brooksy?
said it. I'm blocked, but someone sent it in my group chat, and someone sent a text like I told you guys off air that really made me piss. Let me get the exact number for this, but here it is. So, Steven, I don't know if you're watching this, but shout out to you. Not Statboy Steven, other Steven, good friend Steven. Shout out to you. He said he texted me. We can afford at least 4 Tyler Motts for the same price as Barclay Goodrow's contract.
That's.
I'm
Oh my gosh, that makes me feel really bad. Chris Kunitz? Really?
Chris fucking Kunitz.
Chris Kunitz. All right,
Didn't he
let's
retire,
take this off. Let's take this off. You're gonna keep getting mad. We'll get mad at something else. How about we talk about Lafreniere?
Okay.
Or how about
I just want to preface that one thing that Chris Kunitz retired in 2019. It's the 2023-2024 season, and you could still draft him in fantasy.
If you think you could like buy a time machine in fantasy and go back to like I don't know 2014 or something like that.
They have
Yeah, I
Sam
guess.
Renzel as a dude. Cody Franzen is on here.
I shouldn't have opened. I shouldn't have tucked this toy out of the toy chest.
Jason
All right.
Garris. Okay, I'm done.
I'm just gonna keep talking about Lafreniere until like Nick starts getting mad at Lafreniere.
Well, do we want to get mad at Goudreau or Lafreniere first? Because
Yeah.
All right,
I
let's
gotta
talk. Fine, good.
Because-
okay,
or could I talk pissed off about the Rangers? Because I was talking about this yesterday on or whenever my podcast was. I was talking about this the other day. What the fuck happened to copycat league shit?
Yeah,
The Vegas Golden Knights just won a cup by being ruthless. What the fuck happened to that? Why could we not move Barclay Goodrow, but the Golden Knights can move whoever they want? Are the
For
Rangers
nothing.
not going to use LTIR? Are the Rangers not going to use PTOs when it worked out for them last year, getting Jimmy Vesey on a PTO? Are they not going to do any of that? Because
Why would they do anything that makes sense?
It's
I mean, that was your first mistake.
kind of
Can
annoying
Patrick
me.
Kane sign a PTO?
I'm hoping that Kane comes back.
be
I mean, that's another thing that's driving me insane. The fans that are saying they don't want Patrick Kane back, but
I saw.
like-
I was reading something about. I think it was on Twitter about how Lafreniere was like underachieving and stuff like that. And someone wrote like a comment like, okay, Yakupov said like the same thing happened to him, except he had first line ice time. He was complaining about the line juggling and the coach or whatever, but he was getting first line ice time and he still sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So do we think this is like Lafreniere is just like this is just who he is, like he sucks,
Yes.
or
I think. I mean, again, not knowing anything about the person, but from the outside looking in, and we talked about this already, but I'm gonna just re-spew it up because from the outside looking in, what it looks like is someone who either doesn't care or is too cocky to care. Someone that doesn't look like they're putting in much effort, and someone who's on their third coach in their fourth year in the NHL. And again, this is from the outside looking in. I'm not saying this is a fact, but from an outsider's perspective, this is a first overall pick who you never see working out, you never see training, you never see having consistent success, and who you see having 0 points in 7 playoff games. That is what we see. We don't see anything else. Another thing we don't see is the player legit looks like the same exact player as he did in year one. He doesn't look like he's gotten any better. He doesn't look like he's gotten any worse. He just looks like he's being less inconsistent. He's still inconsistent, just a little less inconsistent.
I'd say he looks a tad worse. Like I feel like the first year of him, he was more engaged, at least on every shift. He seemed more engaged, or at least the first few games when he was first here. Now he just looks like there are shifts where he just looks completely disengaged, and it's just beyond infuriating. And like you said, we don't know him personally to know if he's training or not in the offseason, but one, athletes like to post when they train in the year 2023. Two, the only time we see him post is when he is holding a baseball bat or when he's at the freaking beach. And three, all these players at least are training with other NHLers. Like you're seeing Bedard hang out with Connor McDavid right now.
Already.
And there would at least be footage from other NHLers if Lafreniere was training with other NHLers, I feel like. So, I don't know. I really don't know if it's a fact that he got drafted first overall and he thought, mission accomplished or whatever, but this is make or break here. You better wake up.
To the point about we never see him train, I was about to say, like, we don't see many athletes train, but that's actually not true. That's not true. Capo Caco, remember when he first came into the league, how skinny he looked? Look at how much that guy has changed. Like, he is, like, from his first year.
Was seeing in the gym.
From his first year to the second year. Even if you don't have video of them lifting weights or them in the gym, you see what they look like after an off season. Caco looked, if you compare, I'm not saying he is, but if you compare from his second season to his first season, Caco was yoked his second season. Like, did you see his arms? His arms were huge. Right? Like, so he was hitting the gym, even though we didn't see him we didn't see actual video evidence of that happening.
Right.
We know that he did something. He was working.
And
we heard
see
reports that he was
in his
working
game.
on his slap shot or training in Finland or whatever. Like, as soon as the season ends, he's already back in training. Like, Hedl this offseason, I know he got the injury, but as soon as the season ended, he went to play in international play. He got hurt there, but he went and played. I think Caco did the same thing.
Yeah, Caco did
really
too.
good.
And we saw last year footage of him hanging out with like Mikko Rantanen and a couple players. And we noticed at least a step in his game, like with Lafreniere, there's just nothing.
So nothing.
So now I guess I'm I was like kind of in the middle on Lafreniere. Like now I'm on the side of like you guys. Like this is like kind of who he is. Like and
Yeah.
I'm really hopeful. Have you guys seen the other guys?
Like Stutzla,
No,
Raymond.
no, 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 no. The not no, 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 no. The movie, The Other Guys.
Oh, fucking love that movie.
Yes. Python. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Okay, well,
Oh,
you have to watch that movie. But
Hilarious.
anyways, the guy one of the cops in the movie, it's about like two cops, a desk jockey and a guy who's crazy who shot Derek Jeter in the movie. It didn't actually happen, but
the Yankee clip.
Will Ferrell's character goes like he's just like a nerdy desk jockey, and he goes like absolute batshit crazy at some point in the movie. And he just goes on this rant about putting his big boy pants on. I gotta put my big boy pants on. Like, I'm waiting for that to happen with Lafreniere.
Yeah.
Like, not like getting angry at players, but like from a goal scoring perspective. Like, I'm gonna score every goal here.
Like I would have killed for Lafreniere to walk into fucking Gallant's office and said, "Gator needs his gat, you punk ass bitch." I would love to have seen that.
There you go. Yeah.
God.
Give me ice time. Give me ice time. Or like I want first line minute. I want power play time. I'm going to score you goals. Like, not just like I might score goals, or maybe if you give me time, maybe I'll score more. Like, no, you give me this time, I'm 100% scoring 10 goals on the power play first week or so you're putting me in. Something like that.
I said this the other day too, that if he doesn't look at that tweet, or just in general at the fact that he's the only first overall pick since Nail Yakupov to get bridged, if he doesn't look at that as motivation, I don't know what the fuck will motivate him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one, the Valaket one, but that too, like,
that too, that also, it's like forwarding versus harassment. You know, it's okay when Valley says he should put the golf clubs down, but when I say it, I get flamed in the comments. But that's fine.
You're not wrong for that. Who said that you can't say that?
Twitter.
I need to have a chat with this person.
This person, it's a freaking group of Laffy stands.
Okay, well, I like Laffy too. I even have the memes to prove it. I have the meme. Yeah, I have the Laffy Taffy meme. I love that kid, you know? But
it is like really infuriating.
He's a first overall pick. He's in his 20s. It's time for him to you know, put his money where his mouth is and be the player that they drafted him to be. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect nothing to happen, like everything to be handed to you. That's not how it works.
That's what it feels like. And like,
start scoring some goals and maybe you'll play in the first line.
Exactly. Like, as much as we fault coaching, and I know that a lot of it has to do with coaching because there's no set system or anything, he also at the same time hasn't done anything to prove that he deserves that ice time and that he deserves to actually get chances. Because, like, if you want to blame coaching, this guy's supposed to be a franchise player. Look at Artemi Panarin. Even under a bad coach, he's still producing and putting up points. Look at all these guys on the roster that are. Lafreniere is supposed to be a franchise guy, and whether you want to fault ice time or not, the fact of the matter is he's 8th in his draft class in points per game and even strength. 8th. It's not like we're talking about a guy where he's putting up 50, 60 points at even strength. That's like, okay, if he gets power play time, 20 to 30 power play points, then he's like a 80, 90 point guy. We're talking about like 35 points at even strength and then 5 power play points. And we're talking about a 45-point season, 50-point season being good for a franchise caliber player. Like, give me a break. I'm tired of it.
He hasn't yet. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy about like that statistic, like the 5v5 points? Like I've seen people compare it to other first overall picks, and like up to a certain point in their careers, like which was like some point during last year or even before that, like the season before that, and it was like Lafreniere was above like Stamkos or whatever. I think that's what I saw, but I don't know how it is now. Like at some point, those guys took off, like the McKinnons and the Stamkoses and the Tavarases, like they all took off at some point, and they just like.
But Stamkos also had 50 goals and 95 points in his second year in the league.
Right.
And those guys were also on teams that were rebuilding, and I know everyone uses that as an excuse for why Lafreniere isn't good, but at the same time, I feel like he should be capitalizing on the opportunity that he gets to play with great players.
I agree.
And that should help him produce.
Kakko is also on his third coach. Think about that.
Yeah.
He's on his third coach. Right? So
that's true.
but he looks significantly better than Lafreniere.
Well, he looks more
Every
engaged, and at
shift-
least he's doing something if he's not scoring.
Exactly. Every shift you would notice him on the ice, like whether he's making a great pass, drawing a penalty, holding on to the puck in the offensive zone, making the other team get tired, winding them down, wearing them down and stuff. That is what matters to me. That's what I noticed. Those are the things that make me feel like this player is my favorite player because you're always doing something, you're never stopping. Lafreniere, it's like too many times where it's like you don't notice him on his shift.
Yeah,
And it was the same deal with Kravtsov. Like I was hopeful because like Kravtsov, when he made something happen, to me, he made something happen. But then it would be like 5 shifts off, and you wouldn't even notice him. He would do nothing, right? Lafreniere is like the same deal.
Oh, Joey, are you starting a dialogue here that Lafreniere is a glorified Kravtsov? Please no.
Well, I mean,
you're not wrong right now.
I'm not wrong. I don't think I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're starting a dialogue that I don't like.
All right. Well, Lafreniere is going to have significantly more of a leash than Kravtsov, I think.
Yeah.
Because he was the first overall pick, and I think the Rangers like him as
no, I agree with Elliot Freeman. This is it. This is his last year. This is it.
Lafreniere?
Yeah, I think that this is a 1-year deal in New York for him.
We're at a point now where you could genuinely make the argument that night in, night out, throughout the course of a season, that Braden Schneider was arguably more valuable than Lafreniere for the majority of the year.
Don't talk to the analytics people about that because they'll tear you apart because
let's be honest. Like again, at the bare minimum, at least Schneider's consistent.
Yeah.
At least you know what to expect from Lafreniere. You're like, okay, we need a big stretch out of Lafreniere. He doesn't score for 10 straight games.
Yeah,
7 straight games in the fucking
playoffs. Analytic community could fuck off if they're saying Schneider's a bad player. Do you see the guys that he's fucking played with? Seriously. Analytics are not independent.
He's played with ass.
He played with fucking Patrick Nemeth and Justin Braun last year. Like, give me a break.
And then followed up with
the year before.
Who is the
Ben Harper?
Ben Harper before Mikkola. Right.
Like, come on. Like, analytics.
He's also third pair defenseman, and the third pair is usually the weaker link.
Exactly.
He was in the NHL at 19 and 20 years old, and we didn't think this guy was gonna be in the league till he was 22.
Exactly. He's not. He's not getting consistent minutes either. Like,
right.
For a first-line player like Lafreniere, you could nitpick absolutely, but a third pair defenseman that's doing the job that Schneider is doing, I'm not gonna complain. You kidding me? Like that's more than enough. Like I like it.
The eye test tells you that he's a good player. Again, like I like analytics, but people need to realize that they're not independent. They're not.
They're not the end all. They're not the whole story.
It's not just that they're not the whole story. It's just they're not independent. Some of it is based on who you're playing with, and people just need to start realizing that. And people just throw charts around like they know what the fuck they're talking about and what it means.
That's what I like. That's what I like. Oh my gosh, Corey Snyder's page because he actually tracks. He watches each and everything, like exits and stuff like that. He watches that stuff. Like I favor that more than the expected goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even if Schneider is making turnovers and stuff like that, like I said, he's a third pair defenseman and he's the weakest link. Like I'm more concerned about if Trouba's doing that. You know what I mean? Like because Trouba's the second pair, and it's more costly if he does it. Like you kind of expect. It's not like you expect it out of your third pair. You expect the other team to get chances, right? And it's more likely to come against your not as good defenders.
Right.
Not saying Schneider's bad defender. It's just he plays less minutes than Trouba.
And Schneider can do a little bit of everything too. Like he was kind of we thought he was like this defensive defenseman, like literally just another Trouba, but with less offense. And I think Schneider is more intense and better at offense than Trouba is. Like, dude, like when Schneider is zipping around the offensive zone, him and Panarin are snapping it back and forth.
Yeah,
I like that Schneider, dude. I like Schneider a lot.
Yeah. No, I have nothing bad against him. It's just I don't know. It's Rangers discourse. You know how it is on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's X. Oh, whoops.
All right, X Discord. I don't know, it just sucks, dude. But you know what? With the preseason, I mean, the season will be underway in 31 days till opening night. I saw. right? 31,
Sounds about
33.
right.
33 for the Rangers, right? We have preseason in the meantime. Preseason isn't going to be the end all be all, but we'll have a pretty good idea as to who's going to have a good season when we look at players who weren't as good as we needed them to be last year and how they play in the preseason.
The biggest thing is the
At Lafreniere.
playoffs. I want to know like how they are at practice. So I might have to get Colin Stevenson back on
Yeah,
to fill me in on that stuff because like I want to know if they're
I want to
like,
know what
hunched
Laviolette's
over.
doing.
I want to know if they're gasping for air, like
Yep.
I can't breathe.
Mm.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
I mean,
Right.
that's what I expect, though. I don't expect this to be the Gerard Gallant garbage because, like I said the other day, it's so telling that Gerard Gallant went this entire summer without landing even an assistant coaching job somewhere. That just tells you the type of coach that he is. Nobody wants this guy.
Let's put a band-aid on this giant scar and call it a day. Like, let's change the lines and like pretend like we're solving the trap. Like that's what it came down to. Like it's just so annoying. Like it very, very clear, very easy to see the way you needed to play. It was so frustrating. And you didn't play that way, but everybody else did. Like every other team in the playoffs played the way that they needed to play to win. Like the most successful teams, Florida and Vegas, they were dumping and chasing it, even though they have all the skill on their team. Like Florida's got Barkov, they got Kachuk, they got oh my gosh, they have all these players. They had Duclair too, right? Bennett, Stahl, like they played the way they needed to play. Paul Maurice got them. Verhaeghe, Vegas, Eichel, they had Mark Stone, and they're dumping and chasing the puck.
That's what pisses me off. All it takes is some decent coaching and buying in to get it done, and it's just like that's why I keep saying also that this is it for these players. If they don't thrive under Laviolette, a coach that's actually going to have a system going and actually know how to expose other systems, these players are in trouble. If they want to stay in New York, they have to buy into Laviolette's system, and they have to prove that they could get it done because I'm just tired of them not buying in, looking disengaged at times. And it just pisses me off that people are talking about the Devils the way that they are, when if the Rangers had a half-competent coach this past year, they close out that series, sweep them or finish them in 5, and nobody's talking about the Devils the way they are going into this year.
Right. This is also it for Chris Drury because if the players don't buy in, he is not – Chris Drury will not trade Panarin. I'm telling you that. He's not going to trade Panarin. He's not going to trade Zibanejad or Kreider or Fox and Trouba. He's not going to trade those guys. I'm telling you that. But
I don't know.
Maybe
I wouldn't put past him because if his job's on the
I don't think Drury's the guy to pull the trigger. I don't think he will do it. But if
he's going to have to, he's going to struggle to land a job if he doesn't make major changes.
Listen, if the Rangers don't like get their act together this year and like the players don't, like you said, Python, like the players don't play the way they need to play, then Drury's out and a GM that will move them is going to come in because James Dolan's not going to take it.
I don't know.
But Dolan also needs to be a patient man, dude. Like, I know, but you know what? I didn't see it until other people pointed out because I was a big JD and Gordon guy, and some made the point like because Davidson's now doing it again in Columbus, like he kind of rushed that rebuild faster than like we didn't need to do it unless we did. Like, would the Rangers be a better and more well set up team today if they would have traded Kreider at that trade deadline? Then Lafreniere gets more ice time. You have another first round pick, another prospect, and probably another young roster player. And who else? Like, who knows who else we could have moved in and around and got young assets for? And like, I wonder how different this team would be if we would have went the route of trusting the process and not rushing the rebuild the way we did, because I definitely think we rushed it, especially when we traded for Trouba.
Part of the issue too that I think is really David Quinn. Like they held on to him for way too long. If they didn't get hot pre-COVID in 2020, I have a feeling. Yeah, on the back as a Zibanejad, nonetheless, too. I have a feeling that David Quinn would have lost his job sooner, and we would have been talking about a different coach going into that next season to actually really develop these guys.
Well, that was
have
another
them
thing
play
too.
the
They
right
bring
way.
in a coach like David Quinn, who I'm pretty sure they knew wasn't going to be a developmental coach. It was going to be a coach that was going to, again, systems in place, super disciplined, put the kids in a system, don't let them grow. Like I'm sorry, but we probably needed another season or two with a coach that was going to embrace the kids trying to do stuff and improving his players instead of shelling them in a system, to putting them in roles to where they can't be score. Like we needed Kako and Alexis Lafreniere to be goal scorers. Same thing with Hedo. We need them to be scoring players, and they were subjected to roles. Like Laffy, Kako, and Hedo, they all had their fair shares of healthy scratches and fucking fourth line minutes. Like the rebuild was rushed, and I would have taken another season of failure and trash if it meant we would have been more well set up for the future and the players would develop better.
Well, this goes further. I mean, this is deeper than just that. Like, I know that the Rangers were in a tough spot because a guy like Artemi Panarin's knocking on your door to sign with you for a discount too, nonetheless, right? But he's knocking on the door to sign with you. It's hard to pass up that opportunity, but I again
still
say
rebuild with him though, dude. Like you could still you're setting yourself like so like the whole idea is right. You have Panarin under contract. And then you have all these. This is like what good teams do. You have Panarin under contract. It sucks. You suck for a few years. He might not be happy about it. Fine. But as a team's getting better, you have big money on Panarin, and you can fit in more players because the other rest of your core is on ELCs. And then you make your deadline acquisitions like Tampa Bay did when they brought in Gaudreau, and when they bought in who's that guy they got from Tampa Bay? Fucking not from New Jersey, Blake Coleman, and all these other guys. Because you fill it out when while you have guys like Sergachev and Cirelli on good contracts. And you know what? Listen, it would have sucked. You know what? It would have sucked for Panarin if you come in here and the team's not making the playoffs. But he's making his money. He's scoring. And when the team's ready, the team's going to be really fucking good because we're going to have a shitload of money from our ELCs to add other pieces around that and have a 2 to 3 year window to really excel.
Yes, but do you remember how long it took for Tampa to build to that point? Because they were contending for a very long time until they got to that point. It's not like they signed a big veteran at that point.
You're right.
Steven Stamkos, when they made the conference finals in 2015, was what, 24, 25 years old?
Yeah, he was
young. What they needed to do, it would have sucked.
That won't fly.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because if they really did this thing the right way,
cannot wait more than 1 year.
Nope. If they wanted to do this the right way,
they
would have waited for Lafreniere, Kako, and Heedle to all hit their prime and be the leaders of this group.
Right.
That is why you might never, ever see a New York team go from start to finish on a rebuild. Like, truly. Even the Yankees.
Please,
even the Yankees, they thought they were doing that.
Yeah, the fucking mess.
Look at them now. They are a mess. Even the Mets. Look at the Mets. You know, Steve Cohen he's got all the money in the world, but you know the Mets couldn't save themselves from beating themselves. You know, I don't know. The players just didn't show up this year, and like this is just how it is. Like, there's never gonna be a here's the start of the rebuild, here's the end of the rebuild. As much as we think it's possible, like when we took those steps, like from the very beginning, which is what sucks because we all bought into it. I was fully on board with the letter and, you know, like the messages. We're going to lose for a couple years probably. You're going to see a lot of your favorite players go. We are going in this direction as a franchise. We want to let you know that our fans know that this is the way that we're headed. This is the direction that we're headed in. But
I mean,
when it all comes in, the Jets?
The Jets are the only team really in New York that's went through like a rebuild the right way.
Now.
Like, the Jets sucked obviously for way longer, and they haven't been in the playoffs in over a decade now. But like, as soon as like they changed,
they got Joe Douglas. That's when things started to get
that's when and they really rebuilt the right way, and they realized, okay, well, we have all these pieces in place. We're a quarterback away. We make that move, and then we're ready to start being real contenders. But that's what the Rangers could have done. They could have rebuilt. And yes, I know Panarin wanted to go there, but you wait until these guys lead the franchise. And if you have a huge free agent, shiny toy hole on the roster, and that's all you need left, that's when you sign the big shiny toy on the free agent market, not because they are coming to you.
I know, but
a good example would be Chicago when they were patient, they waited and they signed Marian Hossa.
Yes.
Panarin is the single greatest free agent signing in Rangers franchise history, though, on the open market.
In terms of
nobody has
individual,
produced as
yeah.
much as him in
in
the 4 or 5
in terms
years,
of individual
4 years that he's been
success,
here.
100%.
There's no way you could compare. Like that, he is the best free agent signing they've
Yes.
ever made.
Yes.
So McDavid comes, yes.
First, okay,
Right.
yeah.
Until McDavid
We'll
comes
be
in.
like old in like our mid-30s by the time that happens, and he'll
Right.
he'll also be in his mid-30s doing that typical New York fashion.
Panarin and McDavid's contracts expire at the same time. Just saying.
God, I hope so, dude.
But like, especially like in my lifetime, Panarin for sure is like the best.
No, he
free agent
100%
signing.
is. In terms of individual accolades, Artemi Panarin might go down as one of the better signings in NHL history in free agency. I mean, since coming to the Rangers, 95 points in 69 nice games, 58 and 42, 96 and 75, 92 and 82.
It was
but
a
the problem
no-brainer
is,
that they
18
had to
points.
sign
but
him.
the problem is that until he produces in the playoffs, he'll always have that cloud hanging over his head, and that's what's going to keep everyone from saying that he's the best Ranger free agent. That's what's going to keep everyone from saying that he's some great player for the franchise. Until he gets it done in the playoffs, nobody's going to view him the way that they should,
And
because
he's done it before too. In the not for the Rangers, he did it for Columbus. Like the year Columbus beat the Lightning, that was a great postseason
because
for
he
him.
played under a competent coach.
Yep.
Yeah, Tortsy.
Torts loves
so
Panarin.
it's not like it's impossible for Panarin to do it. He could do it. I have faith in him. I have hope. This is what makes me a fan.
Yep.
Like, I want to see this happen. I want to see Panarin get the job done. This is why we watch the game. We watch because we're rooting for him. We're rooting for him. He's the best player on the team. Is he just gonna stop when shit gets hard, or is he gonna push through it like the $11.5 million player that he is, and he's gonna go produce this season, get 100 points finally for the Rangers, and in the playoffs get enough points to get the Rangers at least to the second round.
Well,
no points in seven games. I don't know what happened.
The thing is,
or 1 point, whatever it was.
Two assists.
2 assists.
Yeah,
that's it.
And weren't they both on the power play?
I believe so, and I think they were in game 1.
Yeah, the thing is, he knows that he's not performing well in the playoffs too. He says it, but to me, he sounds like a hopeless man or a helpless man because there's just nothing he could do to help him produce in the playoffs without knowing a style of play to play in the playoffs, because he has just been playing one way and one way only ever since he arrived here, because the coaching staffs have been so horrible, which is why, again, I'll keep harping on it. This is why I feel more confident going into this year than I have in a very long time, because I trust Peter Laviolette, because even if he's not some spectacular Jack Adams worthy coach, the Rangers, I know they had things go right in the Pittsburgh series, but they made the conference finals under Gerard Gallant.
Yep.
If they could do that and get Tampa, go up on Tampa 2-0, go up on Jersey 2-0, the way that they did win against New Jersey too, nonetheless, I have confidence that Laviolette could get the most out of them and get them to actually close out series and get them to actually play the right way.
The Rangers are not like a hopeless team. They have potential, like you said. They have all.
There's too much talent here.
There's too much talent.
You have
for them to be a plus team.
You have a fucking Norris defenseman. You have an elite left winger. You have two top 2 picks.
goal scorers.
A Vezina winning goalie.
A guy who is capable of scoring 40 to 50 goals. You have a great center that's on the up. You have one of the better guys that you could argue should be a third line center. And if he is at the third line center this year, he's one of the best third line centers in the league. You have so much fucking talent on this team, like a young and upcoming defenseman. There's way too much talent here. Way too much.
I'm not ready to just say, oh no, this team will never change. I'm not ready to be like that disgruntled old middle-aged man that says there's no hope for the Rangers. I'm not ready for that. I think Laviolette here is actually, despite his past, I think he's going to bring a lot here. The left wing lock I could predict that the Rangers might struggle adjusting to a new style of play for a month.
Yeah,
Maybe,
October
maybe,
might be rough.
maybe a couple weeks
Mhm.
for them to get.
October is going to
remember
be
when-
very rough.
Maybe like the first, you know how like the first month under AV wasn't like the greatest. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
2013,
It was
14.
bad.
Remember how much
Oh,
they
yeah.
struggled?
Tomas
Because,
Hertl
like-
ended fucking Marta Baron's career.
Like when
During
the
first.
and then Talbot came up, like how the defense started to jump into plays, like that was
Mhm.
so uncharacteristic for the Rangers at the time because they were so all about protecting the front of the net and,
Yep.
and defense and stuff like that. Lundqvist, once they figured it out, that's when they got rolling. It took
Yeah.
a month. It took a little bit of time, but then they got it going, and they came together as a team. So we have to see if this is what's going to happen with the Rangers this year. If
I
they're going to be able
believe-
to do that.
I believe it could happen, and that's making me sway my opinion and maybe moving them down the standings for me because I
I
didn't
can't
even
see
think
them
about
getting
that.
first place.
I thought
don't-
I think second, but now that you make that point, I could probably see third being more realistic because October, between them adjusting to a new system and playing, I think like 8 of their first 10 games on the road, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal October, but hopefully it's not gonna be so brutal like it was last year, where November they sucked, where December we were one loss away from Gerard Gallant being fired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what it all boiled down to. Yeah. Anyways, fellas, great episode. Thanks for joining me. This wraps up the return of Ice Cold Takes. We are back. Episode 155 is in the books. We'll see you guys next week.